Hello Voltheads, you are watching the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators.
And welcome to KOTE round 4. This week we're playing the Hamburg Atlanteans from Germany and I'll be playing Felix. I've put the deck list back in, so it is Quinn again, Niflkong himself. That is Felix's deck. You can skip forward if you want, but the way Felix's deck wants to play is it wants to capture, force you into a big check because of things like double charrette, old Bruno, effervescent principle, and then essentially pull off an interdimensional graft and get 3, 4, 5, 6 amber from you. So I was looking at it thinking that the creatures that come down and capture need to go, so that I then end up on 9, 10, 11, 12. So the charrettes need to go, the Bruno needs to go. That is the biggest risk for me in this deck. Putting yourself on a large check and then getting into interdimensional grafted, especially as my deck doesn't have mass amber control really, because it doesn't. So that is the decks. We'll see how we get on. That's my opening chance, but with a Ghost Orc and half of Niflkong, and one Sanctum Artifact, one Logos Creature, one Logos Upgrade. I wasn't really happy with that, so I went for the mulligan. Felix has played a Dust Imp. If you look, I've actually managed from the Crucible Tracker to put the hand that Felix is holding on there. So if you look at the overlay, that's what his hand is. So I've gone into Logos there and played the Research Smoker and the Infomorph. That's got a bit out of my hand. I mean, the Untamed's not too bad. It's just a shame again that you've got half of Kong and you haven't got the other half. So there we go. He's played the Special Delivery, the Silvertooth that's coming ready, and he's played the Umbra as well, and the old Bruno for no capture there. There we go, you can see his hand's just updated. I have gone into the Untamed because it's going to allow me to do a little bit. I mean, I've got 2 Reaps with off the back of the Ghost Orc, which is fine. I've put the Demo Beast into play.
King Kong, you know the name of King Kong.
As you can see with the draw icon, it's allowed me to pull the other half of Niflkong, which is a bit fortunate, to be fair, because otherwise I'd have discarded Niflkong. I mean, Resurgence would have brought it back, but yeah, putting down Demo Beast and drawing the other half of Niflkong is a little bit of a lucky one there. And there we go, Rapid Evolution as well onto Niflkong. And that is quite a good turn for me, especially with the bonus of drawing the other half of Niflkong. So Felix has gone into Shadows again. He's fought with Umbra, which has allowed him to steal one. He's fought into one of the Niffle Apes, so it looks like his objective here is to get rid of both the Niffle Apes. Use Relentless Whispers to kill the Niffle Ape and steal another one. And then he sacrificed the Special Delivery to deal 3 damage to the other Niflkong that was on the flank. I will say in his deck list you also saw Hand of Dis. Now Hand of Dis is good at killing creatures that are not on the flank, so I'm keeping Niflkong on the flank and I'm trying to protect creatures by leaving them on the flank, daft as it sounds. So yeah, I mean, he's got in a good check there on 7. There's not a lot I'm going to be able to do about that. However, with Kronos there, with a draw icon, that's going to allow me to archive a card. So I've put Resurgence into my archive, which will allow me to bring back Niflkong if it gets destroyed, which is pretty good for me. What I've done, I've reaped with Infomorph, and then I have made Research Smoker fight Umbra, which has archived another card for me. It's got rid of the Fight Steal 1 option. But yeah, with having the option to just archive that Resurgence, I wanted to get that in there because yeah, if Niflkong goes down, him and his 2 buddies can be brought back whenever I feel like it, thanks to that Resurgence being in the archive. So Felix has used the Dust Imp to fight Ghost Orc to gain 2. He's played another Dust Imp, he's played Fear and returned Infomorph to my hand. And then he's played a charrette to capture 3. I've gone into Sanctum. I mean, again, with the ability to add a bit more untamed stuff to my archive for later, and quite a bit of Sanctum in hand, it just doesn't seem a bad turn. So as you can see, I've played the Font of the Eye and archived a card. I've played Gorm of Orm, played down the Gizelheart Zealot, which will allow me to put it down ready and fight into the Charette and get that 3 back to prevent it sort of sitting there and building up later, and allowing me to be grafted. As I said, that's a big worry with this. And then it's just a case of emptying out the hand, playing down the Bulwark. We'll put down the Squire Alice as well. And then that's going to be the end of my turn there. So yeah, I mean, I'm down by a key, and I'm also sort of 2 amber to 1 a key behind. So at the moment it's not going great for me, but I have got a bit of a board developing. 2 artifacts to 0, 5 creatures to 3. Yeah, so I mean, not a lot of shadows there in hand, as you can see, for Felix. So I mean, same with the disc as well. So he's gone for the logos, but probably obviously because of the amount of logo stuff in his hand. The hand of this has come off Wild Wormhole, which is quite good for him, and he's taken out Kronos. But I've got to put my creatures somewhere, and I felt Niflcon was a little bit more important than Kronos. Especially once most of the draw icons have gone, to be fair. Not massively important once you've made it through most of your draw icons, and most of my draw icons have gone through now. So again, Felix is building well at the moment. Just deciding, do we pull that Untamed, or do we use the logos? And I've gone for the Untamed. Obviously I've got 2 Untamed creatures there, and I'm going to be able to get some more out. So I've got a Resurgence, I've got the Trimble. So I'll play the It's Coming for the Amber bonus. Obviously it's not going to get me anything, but that's not much of a problem. I'm playing the Resurgence basically to get back one of the Niffle Apes. As you can see, I've got back the Kronos as well, because I've got a decent logos hand build in, so I've gone for Kronos and Niffle Ape. So now I can put down the Niffle Ape, use Niflcong, I can destroy the Howling Pit and steal one as well. So that's not a bad performance there from Kong. I mean, he stopped Kong the first time, but at least Kong's got something going there. Trimble now going to give every mutant creature Skirmish, and as you can see, most of my creatures are actually mutant. I think there's only Squire Alice down there that isn't mutant. I've captured onto the Demo Beast because when it's destroyed it steals 1, so yeah, destroy it, you'll get that one back, and I'll steal it straight back from you. So he's always one of my targets for capturing onto. And there we go, I've got myself in check, passed it back to Felix. Straight in there with the logos and playing the Effervescent Principle to take me off check. You know, I mean, he's got the key lead, and he's virtually a full key ahead at the moment, sort of with me on 3 amber and him on 2. But as you saw with his deck list, his board didn't have, his list didn't have any wipes. No wipes in there really, other than the Neutron Shark. So yeah, while I've got 2 artifacts to 0, 6 creatures to 3, I am certainly going to be able to keep control of this board, and that could turn into a problem with him, a problem for him as the game goes along, because my board just keeps continuing to build and affect his. I mean, he's getting good use there out of the Doc Bucktons in terms of he's reaped with 1 and got a card, and then he's got to reap with it again because of the upgrade that's on there, and he's just put down another 1. So he's getting some efficiency there from the Doc Bucktons. I mean, as you can see, I've got a Kronos and a Keitho, the Adventurer, both withdraw, so I can play down 5 logos cards next and archive another 2. So I could pretty much empty out my entire hand if I want to. And again, I just think that is worth to doing. Let's get these creatures down. let's get these cards into the archive, and let's put some more board pressure on, because yeah, I mean, if he's got to fight my creatures to keep control of the board, that's stopping him reaping, and if he doesn't, then yes, I have got the interdimensional graph to worry about, but equally, sooner or later, he's going to have to spend it, or he's going to use it, and if I've got a big board in place when that happens, that could be a problem. So yeah, there we go. You saw there I made Kong turn to Logos Kong, and then reap with him, drew a card. KOTE the Adventurer again lets me trigger Chronos and archive a card if I want to. I'm trying to keep the archive of the same house. I mean, this is a big board now. Some of the cards I drew there were fortunate to sort of draw a little bit of logos. I mean, I'm not going to play that standardised testing. To be fair, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because it's not. If I've got the Q-Mates down, it's not going to take out any of his creatures. It's going to take out Niffle-Kong. No, I haven't got the Q-Mates, but it would take out Niffle-Kong, Silvertooth, Dust Imp, and one of my Power 2 creatures, I think, if that. So it wouldn't affect me that badly. And also as well, it would give me the ability to Resurgence the Niffle-Kong and bring back the Niffle-Apes. So it was potentially worth a look there. But I decided to just discard it anyway, because I don't particularly want to lose Niffle-Kong. So yeah, still not really got myself back into it in Amber and Key wise, but the board right now is turning bad for Felix. He's going to do well next turn to stop me getting to check. He might be able to take me off check if I get to check. But I mean, again, you look at his hand. He's got a charrette in there, so, and he's holding the interdimensional graph now. Obviously, I don't know that, but I was certainly going to play like it, because yeah, if I lost 6 off an interdimensional graph, I was definitely going to be losing this game. So I was going to act like he had interdimensional graph in his hand at all times, basically. Again, those dot buttons are putting in some work for him in terms of allowing him to reap, build Amber and draw cards. So he's got himself on check. Also as well, because of his Titan, the keys are costing 5. I mean, again, with the Even Ivan and the Font of the Eye, it's going to be quite easy for me to take him off check, so I only need to steal 1 and capture 1. He's gone from check. But also as well, I've decided I really want rid of those dot buttons. But as well, with the old KOTE the Adventurer fight, draw a card, it was worth putting those into him as well, with them being skirmish. Although, to be fair, nearly all my creatures are skirmish thanks to Trimble, so until he takes out Trimble, that's going to be the case. As you can see, I've done the steal with the Even Ivan, I've captured with Font of the Eye. I'm just trying to pick possibly the least important creature there to put it onto, or one that he's not going to want to get rid of. I've put Q-Mex on the flank just to see if he wants to try and hand of this off the Niffle-Kong. Making sure I draw my card from the reap on Niffle-Kong. So again, I'm at 7. I could reap for another 3 in logos. But I'm not going to, because it's just gonna allow a big interdimensional graft if I do it. I am thinking about, do I want to get rid of the reduced key cost? And I've decided not to at this stage. And there we go, he's gone into this. He's played the Shula to steal 1. He'll play the Charrette to capture 3 as well, which will again take me off check. It is as we were expected. You know, we're using the capture to take you off check and trying to get you to leave it there, so that you can potentially look at putting a lot of Amber in my hand. I mean, putting the Flame Reefed Hazardous 2 on the Charrette is a good idea. I have got plenty of skirmish though, so yeah, as long as I attack with creatures that are more than power 2, I'll be getting rid of it. He's killed his dusting to get onto a very good check of 8, which is going to be difficult for me to take off. We'll see what we can do though. So I've fought with Keith the Adventurer, which will allow me to draw the card, fought with the other Keith the Adventurer, which will allow me to draw another card. That's got me back to the 6. At the moment, still looking a bit dodgy, so I'm obviously going to steal with Even Ivan. Then I'll be capturing one with the Font of the Eye. But at the moment, that means he still forges a key, because the key cost is 5 and he's going to have 6. So I still need to do something about that if I can. Now, I have got the ability to increase key cost by 1 myself if I can put a creature on the other side of my Titan, but at the moment I've got no logos creatures to put down. So, I mean, I'm going to be thinking I want to make him forge for 6 rather than 5, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to read with Niflkong and draw a card with Academy Training. There we go. So that's the Reap. And that's the Research Smoko, which is again quite lucky for me, because now what I can do, I can put Research Smoko on the other side of my Titan Engineer. That's going to increase key cost by 1, and now if I kill his Titan, the key cost is going to be 7 and he can't forge a key, and I've managed to take him from checking on 8, forging at 5, to being out of check, forging at 7 on 6. Which is pretty good. So yeah, I've hit the Titan with QMEX. That puts Niflkong back on the flank. Obviously I can't use my Titan. I'd prefer not to use Kronos. Infomorph would do it, and Infomorph is a mutant, so Trimble would... in fact, Infomorph wouldn't do it because it would be 5. So this is why I put the Mutagenic Serum. Part of the Mutagenic Serum that allows me to use any mutant, and the beast there, Demo Beast, is Assault 2 because it's next to Bulwark, so it's doing 5 points of damage, and it's skirmish anyway. So yeah, there we go. I've taken him off check and put myself on a check of 8. So again, I'm fishing for the interdimensional graft. I mean, he could possibly use interdimensional graft, but he's only gaining 1. We've already seen an effervescent principle. I mean, again, let's look at what he's got in his hand. But he hasn't got anything to take me off check there. So he could either use the interdimensional graft for 1 or chain himself more, which again is probably smart, because look at that board. I can read for days with that board. I mean, I've just forged the key and I'm on 1 amber. What would you do here? Would you play the Sanctum that's in my hand? Or would you go back into logos, wreck his board, because his only board wipe as well is Neutron Shark, and for Neutron Shark to work he has to kill his own stuff for it to work. So I mean the Kethos, I fight, draw a card, and he's got 2 elusive creatures down. Niflkong's Reap, draw a card. I mean, chances are it's not going to be logos, to be fair. And as you can see, it's not, but it was certainly worth doing. So yeah, I'm going to put myself in check. And put the pressure on. So yeah, there we go. That removes 1 of the elusives. That's 1 deep now. Spymaster gone. And then I can capture another one because I've killed a creature. And then making sure I'm on check. Making sure I've used all my logos cards. we go, pass the turn. I mean, interdimensional graft isn't going to work there. I mean, bait and switch will. So he's got bait and switch, that'll steal 2. He's also got library access, neutron shot, interdimensional graft, but he's not getting anything for interdimensional graft. So his only way to take me off check is to go bait and switch, and then use the shadows creature, which will allow him as well to use the disc creature. But again, I wanted to make sure I was on check, because whenever I'm on check, I'm forcing him to make decisions, and I'm potentially trying to fish out for that interdimensional graft or make it useless because the value's gone. I mean, again, when I forge my next key, that interdimensional graft is useless, and again, I can then reap all I want, because there's no too much to protect in here. I mean, if bait and switch worked the old way, if bait and switch wasn't nerfed, the fact that we had bait and switch and interdimensional graft would be painful, but it doesn't. So there we go. So he's got himself to 7 there, which is good. But again, with Font of the Eye, I can capture 1. With Even Iron, I can steal 1. So he ain't going to be forging a key next turn. It's just a case of how big do I want to go. Do I want to risk him not having that interdimensional graft in hand? Although you can see from the way I've been playing, that's obviously not what I'm going to do. And again, the longer it gets into the game, the more likely your opponent has to actually have the interdimensional graft. So I wouldn't be forging here all the way up to 10, 11, 12. It just makes sense to basically kill both of his creatures, which is 3 fights, and then get to like 7 or 8, then pass it back to him and go, right, what are you going to do now? You've played your old Bruno, you've played your Charette, you've played your Effervescent Principle. You know what I mean? Can you take me off check again? So there we go, Font of the Eye. That takes him off check. Even Ivan's going to steal 1. And now it's just a case of how much amber do I want? What do I feel is strong enough without giving him too much amber? There we go. That's even more cards in hand now. Reap with the Niflcon to draw another card thanks to Academy training. There we go. So, hand size of 14. 2 in the archive. So, across my hand and my archive, I've got 16 cards. Yeah, I mean, again, I could get a lot more amber here if I wanted to. It just doesn't make sense. I've got 3 artifacts, he's got none. I've got countless creatures, he's got none. I am just going to give him this game if I reap out. And there we go, there's library access, interdimensional graft. I mean, I would argue possibly a mistake from me there even going to 8. But wasn't massively concerned about 1. He's still going to play the Neutron Shark, but is you know, unless he can get down another card first, Neutron Shark's going to kill one thing and then die itself. So yeah, he can't get a lot out of it. If you've got a big board, you can get a lot out of it, but obviously you're just not going to be able to get any real value out of it, because it's going to kill itself after it's killed something of mine. He's drawn a card from it, thanks to library access, but again, as I say, he can't put that card down and use it to save Neutron Shark, so he's going to have to trigger the play effect of Neutron Shark, kill one of my creatures or one of my artifacts, and he's gone for the Font of the Eye. and then he's passed the turn, so I'm forging for 8. He's going to gain 1 off that, which is going to put him in a check on 7. I haven't got a capture anymore, and because it's an odd number, I can't use even Ivan to take him off check. But I mean, I'm in a really good position now. As you can see, we're just reaping out. We're going to put ourselves in check. Reap with Niflkong, trigger Academy training, take another card into hand. So that's 15 cards in hand. I mean, should I discard it? Should I keep it? Not like I'm going to draw anything, to be fair. So there we go. That's a turning check for my 3rd key on 7. Let's see what he's got. I mean, he's got the Relentless Whispers, as you can see. That's the only way to stop me winning the game. He needs to kill something with the Relentless Whispers, which he's done. Stolen 1, took me off check. KOTE to himself. I've gone untamed this time because of Cephalist. So while Cephalist is down, he can't steal. So you know, I've pulled the archive, and we're just going to bash down all these untamed creatures. We're going to put ourselves on a massive check because bait and switch is only worth 2 now, so he's got no doorstep, he's got no too much to protect. I mean, he's got Effervescent Principle, but again, if we get to 12, that's not going to be much use either. So yeah, just being off as many untamed cards as we can, getting as much in place. Play the Resurgence just in case I go back into logos again next turn. It's not like I'm going to be drawing any cards anytime soon. I mean, you can see he can't take me off. I was just playing on because he has been through his deck, and there was a chance he had the Effervescent Principle again, or the old Bruno. So I was just, you know, making sure. There we go. So that's Cephalist on the end as well. So Mark of Disc couldn't kill it. So yeah, I've got 11. Shula, Charette would do it. Effervescent Principle would do it. Those are the only things that would. And as you can see, he hasn't got them. So he's gone into his discards. He's going to play his 4 discards. And then I'm going to win the game. So that's going to be the second week in a row that Niflkong has won its game. 7th game on the stream with only 2 losses out of the 7 games, which is quite good. Also as well, as a team we won. So this week we're 2-1. So it's my 3rd win. I've won 3 out of 4 games so far, and as a team we've won 1 game out of 4. So I'm 3-1. As a team we're 1-3. Nice to get the first win on the board, especially against a team who are good players and often practice and stuff like that. So now it's just decide what to use next and see how we go in the next game.
Thanks for watching, so feel free to like and subscribe. I love comments and criticism, so please feel free to leave those. I'll hope to see you next time, but until then, may the Forge be with you.